Hello, everyone, and welcome here to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. And we have a special guest today. So we have Akshar Madhavaram, CEO and co-founder of TIAR on Web3. So hello, Akshar, and thanks for tuning in, joining us here for the talk. Nice to meet you.
Thanks a lot for that, Ivan. I think I'm super honored to be part of this podcast, and I'm super interested in sharing more thoughts about what we are doing, and also discuss about all the exciting stuff that's happening in the sports slash crypto space at this point.
Yeah, sure. We're gonna have lots of talks about sports, NFT, and also India. And by the way, let me tell you, could you tell our viewers about yourself? What are you doing, and what's your company like, so we can know more about yourself?
Oh yes, definitely. So yes, I am Akshar. I'm building TR out of India. We are based in the city called Hyderabad. It's very famous for biryani and not many things. And we are planning to build out of this space. We have been building TR for the last 2 years. We started off as a company that wants to do something with art, sports, gaming, crypto, all of them put together. So we have seen this common phenomena that crypto Web3 space has been very much driven by communities. So we always wanted to empower these art, sports, gaming communities with the technology that is out there, the beautiful technology that is out there, which is called blockchain, and enable all these economies to try and prosper, like leverage NFTs, leverage Web3 application, leverage cryptocurrencies to somehow fuel their economies in their own fashion. So we are launching NFTs for the art communities. We're launching NFTs for the sporting communities to enable and engage fans in a more deeper fashion with the sports. At the same time, we are building cool games on our mobile application so that a lot of crypto community can come there, hang out, play games, make money, and also go on, spend their time in a more deeper connections, creating deeper connections with their fellow community members. So that's about TR. So in short, it's a fan engagement platform where sports gaming communities can engage with their fans in a very deep fashion, and also play games like fantasy sports, chess, battle royales, and make crypto, multiply their crypto. They can start by wagering very tiny amounts of crypto and win a chance to multiply with their wealth by 20x, 100x based on their luck and based on their skill. So it's that what we're currently doing.
And by the way, what TR stands for? So
Oh yes,
is it like an abbreviation or something?
So it was an abbreviation. When we started this off 2 years back, we wanted to name it the Indian Art Revolution, right? So that's the backstory behind that. So the entire idea of that art is going to empower the future economic revolutions. People are in a very comfortable state. They are consuming content, they're consuming art in a more sophisticated way than ever in the past. So we felt art as something that is going to be taking a lot of priority. Art, sports, gaming, all of these are some way a specific form of art. So we want to empower these communities with the power of crypto. That's why we named ourselves the Indian Art Revolution. But at this point, we're sticking to TR. So it's a brand in itself. We're soon going to launch our token, TR token, and TR app. So it's a brand in itself. Not sticking a lot to the Indian Art Revolution at this point in time. Given it's just a backstory, it's where we come from. But given we are very global at this point in time, we have users from across the globe. We're just a bunch of Indians building it, but the product, the company, it's for the world. It's for every fan who loves football, who loves boxing, to come on and just engage with the users on the platform. So that's what we are.
Mm-hmm. And how did you come up with such idea? What inspired you to integrate cryptocurrency with sports, like games and art?
Oh yes, so it's a very long story as such. So it started off with my co-founder and one of my best friends since childhood. So he one day comes up to me, and after we didn't speak for 5-6 years when I was in college, when I was in Delhi, when I was in Bombay doing my job or academics. I was in touch with him. One day he rings, he asked me to come over. I go to his house. He starts telling that, hey, there is this crypto, there is this blockchain, which is one of the biggest crowdfunding sort of a platform. Everything is open source. People are very, very supportive of new and novel ideas. We are kind of in this place where a lot of ideas exist, but they don't transform into businesses. They don't transform into products. So we are very much service-based economy as such. So we felt doing a product from India, especially in a more untapped area like boxing, like sports, we were to leverage Web3 and crypto. So he was very adamant on doing that. So I started learning what crypto is, what is Web3, what are NFTs, how do wallets work, how do wallets work, what is the private key, what is the public key, what is your entire code that goes behind into building these tools. So once I've gotten grasp of that, then I started understanding the deeper philosophy of Web3, right? The power of decentralization, the power of community, the power of people not having to go into paperwork or legal hassles to invest money or to do things together. Like people sitting from across the globe can come together, work together remotely, build products, build ideas, solve problems, help communities. So when I thought of this in a philosophical manner, then I realized that, hey, the philosophy of Web3 is very important and very relevant at this point in time. The existing systems are very outdated, they're very slow, that the technology is evolving rapidly while the governance or the bureaucracy around it is kind of making things difficult to launch in a faster fashion, right? So then when I resonated with this, then I was like, hey, I'm going to do this. And then another big story which is there is on the same conversation. I always knew Prashant's dad. Prashant is my co-founder. His dad was a boxer. He knew how the boxing in India happens. So he wanted, we also had a vision to like do a boxing league at some point in time. We wanted to host the Indian Pro Boxing League ourselves. So then we again were like, hey, India, the boxing, there are a lot of boxers, there are lakh boxers at this point in time. There are like 20 lakh people who are reliant on these boxers, but there is no commercial value for the sport. There are no events happening. There is no day of reckoning sort of events that are happening in the Saudi. There are no big like lavish flamboyant events happening in India. So we wanted to do a league. And we like, hey, why can't we build a product which is going to support sports like boxing, which are just emerging and new. At the same time, also leverage the power of technology to build a product where people can come, hang out, spend time, spend their money, make money, and also like interact and with a wider audience of community, which is not just from India. There are very few. Apart from like crypto world, I don't see any other discords or companies having to cater to multiple languages or multiple cultures all together, all bound together with the philosophy of being a crypto person, right? So a Web3 person. So we felt like boxing in India requires this sort of exposure, this sort of a global support. We wanted all communities to come. Boxing is great in the States. Boxing is great in London.
Of course,
so we wanted people to come from across the globe to support the entire league. And then we felt building on the Web3 platform, making that the engine for our entire boxing content, the games that we want to build for boxing, like fantasy sports. We are soon launching NFT collections of boxers. So all of this is going to make it easy for the sport to grow in a rapid fashion compared to your traditional sports. So that's the backstory behind why we wanted to build TIAR as such.
So basically it all started with boxing, and now you are expanding all these fields towards different kinds of sports. So
games also.
Games also. Is that involving cyber sport, like esport? Maybe.
Yes. We also have plans of venturing into esports. So we're soon having a very unique idea of launching our own battle royale game, or like which is going to involve a lot of esports folks from across the globe who play PUBG, who play BGMI and other games as such. So the idea is to first do what we already have with us, which is boxing, which is a very honorable that we at such young age have got an opportunity to take the sport to the next level in India. We have the support of a lot of the World Boxing Council, the Indian Boxing Council, the state boxing councils, all the boxing community here in India are like rooting for us. We just have done our launch event of our boxing league on 16th of December, and it was a great success. People are loving it. They want to like watch more of it. So we're planning more events to come forward. So we want to ensure we do one thing perfectly at one time. We picked this sport. We want to launch boxing NFTs. We partnered with Polygon and folks to like launch these boxing NFTs online. In less than a month, you'll see all our boxers in India coming out online in the form of NFTs to engage and interact with their fans. And after that, we're also building a game for the boxing community, boxing fantasy sports and stuff like that. So once we do this for one sport, then we'll diversify, expand to other sports in involving fan engagement specifically in a deeper fashion. So esports is definitely I have been a gamer all my life. Like since 8th standard, I've been playing games, spent hours and hours. My co-founder did so. My team members are also all gamers. So esports is something that we still
super
believe
popular.
in. Yes. So we're just waiting to take it one step at a time and just build a vibrant community which can just sustain and just support diverse set of sports and also like esports in the future.
Yeah, I agree. So to summarize it all, like what is the main and primary benefit of using cryptocurrency in such fields, in your opinion?
Yes. So in my so end of the day, it's the belief system that you're in, right? So especially products which are native to digital economy, especially games are digital economy, right? They are going to happen in the virtual world. Maybe esports is just bridging between the virtual world and the physical world, where fans can go and watch the game online offline, but most of the games are confined to the digital spaces, right? At the same time, sports today is a lot dependent on the digital economy. There is the money that you make out of the offline ticketing is very less compared to what you can make online through pay-per-views, through selling your broadcasting rights, through like creating your making all of your boxers stars in themselves. They have the sponsorships. All of this is going to happen on your Instagrams, Twitters, on YouTube, on like all these digital platforms. So when we've figured out that hey, boxing as a sport or any other sport is today a digital asset more than a physical asset. They're like people making money out of the sport or fans making transactions. All of this is happening online. So when this is happening online, crypto becomes a step up compared to your traditional payment systems, right? So the rate at which the transactions can happen, the trust that you need to have for the fiat systems is very high. You need to sign contracts, you need to do agreements, you need to do a lot of paperwork before you can get things done fast. But on the other hand, crypto payments, the trust that people have today on the crypto systems, things are much more faster. You can like do agreements, do your payments, set your assets out for sale as NFTs, set your rights out for sale as NFTs, create community without having to burn a lot of money in marketing in your traditional advertising ways. You can launch collections, you can launch fan tokens to kind of attract these large volumes online to then translate it into real substance or real monetization. So given these advantages and given the synergy of sports games have with the digital economy, the payment systems, the underlying technology stack, like being blockchain and cryptocurrencies, should be a very natural fit. And then this being the fundamental reason, we also have the other big issue that sports or games are like very like people not from your gaming hubs or VC hubs have, right? Like we face that issue. There are not large of networks here in Hyderabad who can fund you easily. But rather, if I look at crypto or blockchain or as a global platform where I can raise funds, if I can put out a good idea, put out a good collection, put out a good product, raising funds becomes much more easy. So crypto is something is very global in nature and very trustless in nature because of the underlying payment mechanism. So because of this reasons, it just empowers creators or builders or people, entrepreneurs who have ideas. They can accelerate the way they can build on this. So these are some reasons that we feel ki, hey, content is purely digital and integrating that with crypto NFTs is like a natural fit, and it made a lot of sense for us, and it still makes a lot of sense for us. So that's how we are approaching this.
Yeah, despite the fact that crypto is actually opening lots of doors to digital economy, to accessibility and like adoption, of the whole sports process in here. It also brings like challenges at the same time, especially the volatility of cryptocurrency. So what do you think, how do you address this issue of volatility of cryptocurrency in the context of sports and, I don't know, investments overall?
Got it. So crypto is volatile, and so are the communities and the activities, right? So if you see a Manchester United could be like a 5-year, 10-year back-to-back winners of a league, but suddenly like 2-3 years they can just be like performing badly.
Yeah.
Not just Barcelona could be the same example, or another cricketing team in India could be the same example, right? So the nature of the communities that we are building are also very rapid. It's just like crypto. So like I feel like a lot of content is also going to be quickly created and quickly die out. There are legacies that are made for years and years, especially in the gaming sector. Like games that are hit, they go viral for 1 month and then they die out. So that even the products or the communities around which people are making money and the attention span also is coming down rapidly. So what's happening is people want to launch quick, test quick, fail quick, and then like experiment a lot, right? So the volatility of crypto is because of that nature of businesses today. Everybody wants everything quick. So that's making crypto rapidly volatile. And the industries associated with crypto at this point are also like that. They're just running on hype. So the volatility eventually will die out. So if I look at TIAR as a company, everywhere I want to use crypto as a payment transaction, I can always go back to your USDTs, your stable coins, or your Bitcoin or Ethereum, which are more reliable, and it's fine. Even if it dips a bit, people will again make it up. But coming to the places where people are looking at crypto as a way to multiply their wealth, that's when the volatility comes into picture. They have to bank on the volatility to make money, to make quick gains or to lose gains. So everywhere I want to create a payment gateway, I am going to stick to your stables. I'm going to stick to your safer cryptocurrencies. Whereas if I'm gamifying something, if I'm building communities, if I'm launching NFTs, so that's where the volatility is going to be there. And that volatility is going to be reflected by the community or the project or the product that is surrounding the asset, be it an NFT or a token. If the community is going to scale, if the product is going to scale, the volatility in that asset is going to come down naturally. If the community is not going to scale, then you see the hypes and the downs and the hypes and the downs. So that's how I see. There are two parts in my head. There's one crypto, which is purely a good financial tool to transfer, save, like store, like multiply and all that. And then there is the other side, which is purely speculative. It's almost like a game that you're playing with crypto, where you're trading it, where you're holding it, selling it, all that stuff. So there are the two parts. That's how I see how you deal with volatility.
Mm-hmm. And referring to sports, there is a term called fair play. So don't you think that, this fair play exists in the cryptocurrency space, and how we can prevent like fraud in such environment?
Oh yes. So that's very relevant for us, right? Suppose we're starting off our entire boxing league at this point. The first thing that we are actually doing is we're taking help of experts to fix our integrities of our league, right? We are looking at how the scoring is going to happen, how the judges are going to behave, what the players, like ensuring the sport is pure and sport is going to be of highest quality standards. There are a lot of checks and balances we have to put to secure the sport and make it very integrity. It has high level of integrity, it has high level of transparency, right? So this exists is because the sports have hundreds of years of history. Like a football is being played for so long, for boxing has been going on for years now, centuries now. Every sport has this way of evolution where they've fallen into mistakes, they've done mistakes, they've committed crimes, and then all of them fixed themselves and said, hey, this is how we have to behave, this is how we have to act. So crypto is in that phase, right? It's just 10 years, 15 years, 20 years that the idea is around, that the
it's just
entire
decades.
Yeah, the practice is around. So for it to get stronger, it needs to fail, it needs to suffer. So that's what the hype cycles are at this point. So that's the reason if everybody is very excited about the bull run happening, crypto going up in prices, I'm like, hey, it's done. Like the hype waves of going up and down are always going to happen. Like when are people going to look at crypto more than that? It's not just more than the bull run. Bull run is just a good time, right? But apart from that, you should also look at 10-year timeline or 5-year timeline when you're building a product or you're building a company. So when people are looking at in that fashion, it even becomes for the lawmakers or the regulators to look at you in that fashion. They'll make laws saying, okay, I'll give you 5 years time, fix everything, and then just ensure you're a good company. So we have to get more mature in terms of that. We have to stick to your first principles. Your morale, your integrity should be in line with what your traditional companies follow, right? All the traditional companies have proper corporate governance. They have their legals, compliances, everything in place. They stick to it for a reason, because people have tried, and these are the evolved things. So you have to definitely stick by most of them if possible, and then go forward with that.
Yeah, but can the term fair play really exist in cryptocurrency space?
It can and it should. So let's hope.
However, as we're referring towards the economy, like, crypto economy, I think it works pretty much the same as traditional world,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
is there a fair play in traditional world? Well, I strongly doubt that, but especially in the economy. But like sports, when we're referring to that, it's like it implies something noble, does it?
It does. Fair play in like sports is pretty much noble as such. Yeah, I think that's the longevity of the culture or the history of that sport itself makes it like kind of noble compared to what we see. Yeah.
Okay, so as we touched the topic of like crossing the worlds of traditional and crypto, so in your opinion, what impact do you think that cryptocurrency will have on the traditional financing of sports and arts?
So like crypto has a lot to prove, right? So it's going to be like belief system battles.
Early on here.
Yep. It's early, but it's fairly old enough. Right now, it's in the teenagers, or it's late. It's getting into early 20. Like late teenagers is where crypto is at this point in time. So what I see is people are already taking it seriously. Everybody is adopting. Everybody is in that FOMO phase, or in the phase of, hey, I need to catch up. And especially, although the word traditional companies sound boring and traditional, but they are the real smart ones, right? They have sustained for so many years that they know how to adopt quickly. So they are the ones who are going to actually cut through the lot of noise that is there in the crypto world, pick the specific use cases which are actually useful and which are actually beneficial to the wider society, and they'll just sneak that feature in without even calling it crypto, Web3 or NFT, right? They're not going to use all your fancy DeFi words that we're creating. This is all part of your counterculture that's building up, right? That's a parallel culture that's building up. But for traditional companies, they are going to adopt, they are going to pick and wisely choose what feature is going to help their product, or what sort of backend change or technology change or infrastructure like changeover that they'll have to do to basically adapt to the evolving technology, at the same time reap the benefits. Like for instance, simple example is AI, right? What AI is doing for your creative processes or for your automation processes, blockchain is going to do similar thing for your financial institutions. People are still trying to solve for cross-border trust issues, or some sort of real-time payment settlements, or some sort of like handling a lot of volume of like transacting a lot of volume of cash transfers, or payment gateways doing their own mistakes. So all these things exist, and they're kind of solved for in the traditional world. But the second crypto and blockchain comes in, people suddenly have this eureka moment saying it can get even better, it can get 10x more better. So when they see that, they'll pick those things, fix it in their user flows, they'll fix it in their architectures, and that's how they completely gel in with the Web3 world. So eventually I want that time to come where you're not like a common user need not know that you're using a Web3 product, or it's a crypto product, or it's a blockchain product, right? Yeah. And they have multiple things, and it's their preference what they choose and how they use it as such.
But referring to sports and arts, because what comes to my mind is fan tokens that started to appear recently like some football clubs usually own them, like I know AC Milan, for example, or Juventus, just to name a few. So how this will impact like sports like that we know traditionally, like will there I don't know, crypto leagues that's going to appear in the future or something in your
Yep. So I
opinion?
think we are one of the living examples, right? Like there is like AC Milan or a lot of Barcelona, Napoli, all of them did their fan tokens, and then they're just the first ever crypto product that they launched, right? It's the first of their kind. So now they're also going to see how it worked, how it failed. Few of them might have worked, few of them might have failed. They'll have to rethink of how do we go about it. But
Yeah,
coming to the true senses, the assets, the underlying assets, the loyalty programs, the membership passes, the pay-per-view passes, ticketing, a lot of these things that are involved with the sporting league, like
yeah,
broadcasting rights,
it
or
does have the potential, right?
yeah, and data, especially like putting all these data on a public blockchain makes it more immutable. You can't tamper with the records of the sports data that is available. So a lot of these hardcore use cases have been like introduced, and a lot of people are doing a lot of new things around that. Now it's about how new upcoming leagues are learning from that, right? So how we are doing it, like because I'm a Web3 native, given I've been working for the last 2 years, and this is one of the first things I've started in my professional career is to start up, right, in the
Mhm.
Web3 space. So I'm much like a Web3 native. So for my boxing league, upcoming boxing league, everything I look at, like if I'm speaking to boxers, so there's something Web3 going on parallelly along with your traditional things. I'm talking about normal contracts, speaking about how I want to ensure there's a marketing contract with them, about their socials, how are we going to engage as a league with their socials. I suddenly say, hey, there should also be some NFT side of things. We want to also tap onto that community, right? So I integrate that in that fashion, and at the same time, when I'm planning ticketing, I am more
Mhm.
open to NFT ticketing as a collectible, also in a format where people can transfer their tickets. Like, when did you last secondary sale your tickets apart from going to social media and friends groups and saying, hey, I have an extra ticket, I want to sell it, you want to buy? So we can just go list your ticket as an NFT online and you can resell it, right? So that's the
Yeah.
NFT ticketing side of things. And then fan tokens is for more mature clubs which are 10 years old, so they have fans, they have a lot of fans. So we are maybe in the very nascent stages. We are just doing fan engagement at this point. Later, maybe after, in future, when the clubs have strong IP of their own, the 6 franchises that we have good IP of their own, we can go public. We can launch a token which maybe symbolizes the entire value of the IP that we've built, right? And then the owners can deal with the token. The token could be like the asset that the players are getting as part of their salaries. The community is getting in form of rewards. The token could represent the club. So it's hard to imagine that because there is nothing like that at this point in time, right? So, but the number of utilities that a token or a NFT has is n number. It's about how are you prioritizing few use cases, making it like ensuring that it makes sense for the community is the topmost priority. And that's
Mhm.
how you keep evolving and experimenting. So there are fan tokens, there is ticketing, there are NFT collections, and there are games, right? Like gaming is another way of translating your IP into a monetizable action, right? So if I have a club, I have 6 clubs. If I create a game with the 6 clubs into a combat sport game, it should add value to my IP that I am building, which are the 6 franchisees and the boxing league. At the same time, it should also make sense for the gamers. The gamers will be exposed to the boxing as a sport, and the boxers also get exposed to the new game that I'm building. So that way you can just make more loops, more content consumption loops, so that the entire IP grows sustainably into the future.
Okay, so as we're speaking about this integration, surely this will bring some challenges. So in your opinion, like what challenges are going to be when integrating traditional sports and arts with cryptocurrency?
So one thing that whenever somebody asks me what are the challenges with crypto, right? The biggest existential challenge itself is like the belief system. For somebody to be able to completely switch their gear and think, hey, there was this entire economy where I used to do agreements, I used to sign things, I used to type things, I need to send emails, do sittings with lawyers and get trust over things. Now, if you're suddenly swapping it with a piece of code and saying, yeah, I'll launch a token, I'll launch a NFT collection, I'll raise $1 million online, I'll raise $5 million online during the bull runs. So this is like a complete paradigm shift. Before you were to raise a $4 million for a project, people have to work with VCs, work with investors over 4 months, 5 months, 6 months to like build trust, do paperwork, get everything in place. On the other world, there is this world that is coming up where there are no regulations, there is nothing. People can launch meme coins, they can launch NFT collections, they can launch companies overnight. So this is like people from both the angles should acknowledge each other, that there is a reason why there are this long processes, because that makes you more polished as an entrepreneur, as a company, because these are from a lot of learnings that have gone wrong in the past, right? So how can you adopt to all of those and at the same time leverage the speed and pace that this provides is what is going to determine the challenges that you have, right? So as a crypto founder, as a person who's launching NFTs and crypto companies, or trying to integrate real world events with crypto, if I am always going to keep my eyes and ears open and understand, if I were to do it in a traditional fashion, what are all the things that I have to do, and then I'm doing it in the crypto fashion, it's getting easier for me, it's becoming I can scale faster, but still I should stick to my integrity and like say, okay, let me follow all these things also. It's not a loss, right? If I'm making quick capital, that doesn't mean I'm going to not invest into my legals or into my compliance. If I'm going to raise quick funds, that doesn't mean I'll blow it in however way I want. I need to treat all my community as investors. I need to give them updates. I need to give them I need to build a sense of accountability so that no misuse happens. So as a crypto company, if I am going to integrate real world into crypto, I'll have to treat it as just a regular company. Don't treat it like a crypto company. I treat it like a company, respect it, and do it in the crypto way. So then I'll not have any challenges. Even if challenges come, right? Even if the government knocks at your door and says you're doing something wrong, then I'll tell them, hey, I followed everything. I'm doing something new. This is not wrong. So the governments or the regulators or the compliance organizations, they'll start learning from these new technology and then they'll change the law accordingly. That's what has been happening, right? The technology evolves, then the society adopts and they make laws. So you have to ensure the balance is maintained. That's what I believe.
And by the way, speaking of the government, so how does cryptocurrency adoption really align with the Indian government's digital initiatives?
So India is in a very unique spot, right? So what happened was India while the world was seeing the crypto adoption and the crypto revolution as such, when people felt it's so easy and convenient to crypto transactions, India was going through its own fintech revolution, right? Like a lot of fintechs have come up, UPI came up. So what crypto is, how seamless crypto is for transacting, UPI was already there in India. So almost like 100, a billion people already know how to have seamless transactions using fiat currencies. So because of this one reason, many people don't understand how good it is to do instant transfer of funds. So because India already has seen UPI while crypto was booming, what happened was people still don't utilize crypto for transfer of funds or do some sort of payments and all that stuff. Still in India, people look at it as an investment opportunity or to multiply their money in a very quick fashion. And the products that are coming out of India, the exchanges are doing really great, but more application layer products are something that India is yet to see. And then once those wave of companies comes in, even the government will have like a complete eye of, hey, okay, there are exchanges, there are these sort of companies, there are like this sort of companies. So once they understand, hey, there are like 40 different use cases of crypto, and people can exploit it in 50 different ways or 60 different ways.
Oof.
So then they can come up with a perspective. So now that's why I was that a very vengeful or like a rebellious kid who should keep yelling, "Ki government is bad, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're not supporting crypto." But now after 2 years of struggle building the company and seeing a lot of ups and downs, now I realize a government needs to be very responsible. They need to not be loose mouth and say this, say that. So they're just taking their good time. Recently I saw news. I don't know how real it is, but they just pushed the entire stance on crypto by 18 more months or 16 more months. So they said, "Ki we'll just wait for more time. We'll just wait for a couple of more years and see what crypto is really becoming, right? Then we'll come out with a very full-fledged white paper or regulations around crypto." But at this point, it is part of the taxation system. So government is collecting crypto tax. So accounting and compliance, all of them are similar to your standard fintech companies. So that's a good step. So they're already accommodating us. Now but yeah, there is still some time before they openly support it. So, but I feel India has always been very experimental and bottom-up approach, right? Once things happen, everybody reacts and just ensures they accommodate it in some or the other fashion. So even in crypto, I feel the same is happening. They're accommodating it. It's slow, but they're accommodating it well, is what I feel.
So has India become more crypto friendly?
Oh yes, it definitely has become more crypto friendly. I've seen days where it was banned, where it was like yelled upon. They said it's a scam. Everybody, like even the ministers said, call it a scam, everything. But now they're very calculative about what they say. They are very mature. They're speaking in a very nice fashion about there needs to be a global way of looking at crypto. India alone can never do any regulations for crypto, because only if India says regulate crypto, but I'll just have wallets which are on a different server, on a different VPN, or a different company based out of China, or a company based in US. So how can an Indian government control us in any fashion? They cannot. Or they cannot regulate us. They cannot legally sue us or do anything. So they are saying ki, hey, the world needs a global framework. Like all countries should come together to think about crypto as a global product and have very lenient rules and regulations, but still it should be global, so that it's the same everywhere and people need not go around. And I currently I'll have to go set my entity up in some other country to ensure that the regulations are very clean and simple and clear for my investors. But if there are global framework, then a person can set up a crypto company from any country and go forward. They don't have to again think and invest, and I have to set up a company in Dubai, or I have to set up a company in Singapore. That's the mentality of many Indians, because that's the safe way to go about it. That's how investors will trust our entity and legal work and the paperwork. But if more and more startups need to come out of India and need to build on the crypto and the blockchain stack, they would want more comfort to be able to set up in India itself. So yeah, hoping that it's maybe 2 more years down the line, I'll see companies openly putting companies in India, saying they're a crypto company and going forward in that direction.
Yeah, but that process is happening, definitely.
Yes, so, it is.
In your opinion, but rather in your experience, have you ever dealt with regulatory uncertainties or sudden policy changes in India?
Oh yes, the policy changes have been going left, right, and center. Like there was first the government bans it, and the Supreme Court says you cannot ban crypto. Then the government does something else, and then the banks suddenly pull out of your payment. They no longer provide any services to the exchanges, so you can't buy and sell crypto. The only option will be P2P. And once you're doing P2P, you'll see some random issues that your account is getting flagged if you're doing P2P transactions. Then your bank accounts get banned. So there are a lot of small things that keep happening and they're turning around. So they stay for 2 years, and again they get reversed. So there are a lot of things that happen. So it is definitely going to impact the wider audience. Like maybe startup like ours, which is maybe positioned as a company building out of India but building for the world, we don't have that issues, because the end of the day we are dealing with crypto natives, right? They'll always find a way to acquire crypto and then trade crypto or transfer crypto or liquidate crypto. But it becomes a huge challenge when you're onboarding new users onto crypto. So they'll need to have simpler ways to on ramp by acquire crypto. Then later, if they want to liquidate it to fiat currencies, they'll want to do it in an easier fashion. So maybe if once this regulatory environment becomes much more clearer for people, like what needs to be done, I think US is kind of leading the way. If US does it quickly enough, I think countries like India and other countries also should quickly come up to a clarity and then say, go forward. And then a lot of adoption will happen. Users will come on board and they'll openly say, they'll not call crypto a scam anymore. so that's what needs to happen.
And how do you see India's role in the global landscape of cryptocurrency adoption?
So India is going to be important in not just crypto, in everything. Be it food, movies,
population
games. Given it's pure powerhouse currently is the population that it has. At the same time, the entire the diverse culture that is in India makes makes an Indian user a very a user which is very dynamic. They are open today, they are open for this experience, tomorrow they are open for another experience. So it becomes like they've already seen a lot of iterations locally, be it products that they use, be it the content that they consume. They're very explorative in that fashion. And then the language, Indians have a decent grip over English. Indians are very much everywhere in the world. So given all these conditions, it becomes a play field for any product to be tested, right? If I at least see it like that. If you can build a product for India, it's very easy to build it for the globe. Vice versa is difficult. If you're building a product in the States, or building a product in China, or building a product in Europe, it is very much the pricing, the standards, the cost, everything is fixed for that country. But on the other side, if you flip it, and if you build something for the Indian masses, which is very utility driven, very value driven, no customer is going to pay you easily. They're going to pay you only if you have value, because they're not such a rich country also. So given all these conditions, if you're building a digital product for the country, be it content, be it a game, be it like a finance product, anything, if it succeeds in India, I feel there are much higher chances that this succeeds in everywhere else in the world too. So that makes India very unique and very strategically positioned. And given the amount of youth that exists at this point in time, and crypto is very, very friendly for Indians, especially because of the slow system that is getting. So if you want to launch companies, many of them would actually want to launch on crypto. So I definitely see good days coming for India. And both infrastructure wise and in the way of a unique demographics to build for and experiment for. India is an amazing opportunity as such.
And don't you think that cultural background and this whole mass of cultures, religions, and whatever could be a big problem here? Well, not big, but something to be reckoned with. So
like India is very unique that way, right? So there are like 10 things that are happening in your head. There is like always a stream of education, skill set, hustle. That's always going on in the back of every single person. Every single Indian is almost at every point in time in a survival mode, right? Although they're doing well these days, all of them have good GDP per capita, all the basic facilities are mostly there, but it's still that survival fight mode that people are in, right? So they're always learning new things very quickly. So when it comes to technology, when it comes to content, when it comes to new cultures, they are the first to learn. So that is one stream that's always going to happen, and that is going to benefit crypto a lot, and technology or any game or any content a lot. Coming to another bucket in their head is always about family. So there's going to be, hey, who are you going to marry? When are you going to give your kids? What is going to your friends, your family feuds, and all of those are going to continuously happen. And then similarly, the third thing you could say for a good chunk of people is religion. So there's always going to be that entertainment happening in your head. Sorry for calling it entertainment, but that religion aspect always happening. There'll be some fights, there'll be some things, there'll be some festivals. So that's happening throughout. So if you look at an Indian character, so you see they have all these buckets in their head. They allocate their time for each of them, and then they spend that time. Even when you look at products, right? Indians have they spend some time definitely on movies. Indians are movie buffs. They definitely a new segment of people are gaming addicts, right? They are going to definitely spend some time of their day game for sure. And then there are some elements of people who some time of individual that people want to spend on investments, on maybe like playing games online, trading, or maybe gambling. So they're going to do all these things to ensure they multiply their money. That's the reason I don't see these religion issues or any cultural issues or any unrest that exists in India as a major drawback as such, because we kind of allocate times for all the things and then ensure we get the best value for each of them. So I see it's just part of the bigger lifestyle that Indians have, but it's not going to affect a company or a product or user in any ways as such.
Okay, that's amazing. And by the way, it's so nice speaking to you. And as we're getting closer to the end of our discussion, I would like to ask you one last question. And it's also about India. So what are the very first steps for someone in India wanting to get involved in crypto through these sectors like sports, NFT, boxing in crypto and stuff? So can you recommend something to such people?
Sure. So a very first thing that they need to ask is like the question that you've been asking me throughout, right? Why crypto? So first, if they have that answer, that how they do they want to leverage crypto, Web3, NFTs, or any blockchain technology into their business model? How is it adding value? Is it that it's a superior technology that they're getting for the feature that they want to build? Is it like a way to raise funds? Is it a way to engage with your community? Or is it like just because you're riding the hype cycle? Like, what is the purpose that you're doing that, right? So the second you have the purpose, then you'll see the next steps. So like if you think you're building a D2C product, then you need to first have a community. You need to have a bunch of backers who are crypto natives, who are going to back you because you're a crypto product. So that becomes very important. Even before you set up a company, especially it's crypto, right? If you have a community, that is your company as such. So having that community is important if you're a D2C product. Then comes key, hey, okay, no, if you're a purely technology product, you're a B2B business, then it's very, very important to get your legals right? Where you're establishing your company from, who are your clients, are they, what are you building, is the technology cutting edge, and focusing on a good tech team, good dev team, nurturing the talent in India to become native blockchain developers, and building that becomes super important. So if you're a D2C, community becomes important. If you're a B2B, your technology becomes super important. And then finally, if you want to go about legals, then you have to think about, hey, what are you building for? If you're going to be like a bootstrapped company, you don't care about fundraisers, you don't care about like anything, you just want to run a business, then you can still set up an entity in India and just go forward with that. But on the other hand, if you want to launch a token for yourself, if you want to tokenize your company, and like how we plan to launch a token, TIAR token, then you should obviously speak to your legal teams and see where do you want to set up your entity, which part of the world will support your legals and regulations are going to be fine. You have to then stick to that. So legals come into play, and accounting becomes a big role. You have to have an idea of what are these new crypto taxes, how they're going to play with your old taxes that exist in your country or your in India especially. So looking at those things, if you're an entrepreneur, you'll have to like get into these things. Nobody's going to tell you have to go ask them, burn your hands, learn it the hard way, and then once you have all these knowledge with you, go forward and execute it. So first gather these basic answers to your questions, then go and find the best people who can do it for you, and then just get going.
Okay, that's amazing. I think that's a good ending point for our discussion. Again, guys, thanks for stopping by. We had our guest, Akshar Madhavaram, CEO and co-founder of TIAR Web3 project. So again, Akshar, thanks for stepping by. Thanks for this profitable discussion. I think that was amazing.
Thanks. Same. I love this conversation, and looking forward for more such conversations in future. And
so yeah,
have
guys,
a great day. Yes.
You'll find all the useful links in the description box below, so to socials and whatnot. So again, Akshar, thanks for stepping by. Happy holidays and see you around.
Same. Happy holidays, and I hope you have a great start to the next year. And it's going to be fun for all the crypto folks.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be excited.
Yeah, wish you luck as well.
Yes.
So, okay, so see you then. Bye.